roles, do better, more recognized, be able to influence more people, make more impact in the tech industry, to face the challenges already in the industry, and to seek actionable strategies to overcome them. I'm pretty sure we're excited hearing all of that. You will definitely be grateful and happy that you joined this fireside chat. So this is more than a discussion. Our time is fast spent, so please keep in pace with me. It's a space for you to get clarity, confidence, and the resources that you need. Our goal is to engage you. So I would love if you have your questions in place. Any questions you've had prior to the meeting, please keep it in store. You can drop it in the chat box so that at the end of this session, this event, we can touch on them. So I would briefly talk on the organizers of this event, Hackademia Institute. They are the ones that organized this event, and the perks of the event, if you probably did not come across the scholarship that we are currently running for 500 women, to be able to sponsor 500 women, 93% sponsorship for 500 women to learn a tech skill, product development, product design, product marketing, product management. It's a massive one, and I'm so glad that you are here to also hear more about that. So Hackademia is a reputable tech institute dedicated to helping individuals, women like you, with zero experience to break into the tech industry. Through learning, hands-on projects, and mentorship, Hackademia equips students with the skills to thrive in fields such as the ones I have mentioned earlier. We are committed to this initiative, empowering women and making tech education accessible to them. Before women can get anywhere in the industry, they have to be equipped, and this is where we come in. We equip you so that you have a place to begin when it comes to tech generally. And this is also to celebrate International Women's Month. That is the initiative in partnership with StratPal Limited. So 93% scholarship for 500 women. If you've not applied for that right now, just keep it in store that you should, and you would definitely be attended to in the application process. You'll be able to learn all these skills as low as 10,000 naira. I don't think I've seen that anywhere, but thank God for sponsorships and partners. We are able to do that, and you can be one of those 500 women. So let's get right into it. We have great speakers this afternoon, people who have made a name in the industry, who are doing big things, getting bigger and bigger in the industry, and are making a mark. And I'll just briefly introduce these speakers to you so that you know what to look out for, your questions, you know who to direct them to. So as I said, these are phenomenal speakers. Are we together? Can we drop an emoji so that I know that we are in this together? Great, thank you so much. So our first speaker that I'll be introducing is Victoria Oladosu. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. Please correct me if I didn't. But Victoria is a skilled UI UX designer and data product specialist. She began her product managing journey way back in 2020, and since then has shared insights on incorporating user feedback into product development generally. Victoria is also the founder of Product Hub Africa. It's an initiative aimed at fostering product management skills across the internet, and she will be speaking with us today. And so if you are more inclined in product design, product management, this is your person. Next on, hi, Victoria. We'd just like to hear from you, or just give a sign that we're celebrating you. Please, yes, please do celebrate her. Let's celebrate her, let's celebrate her. Great, thank you. Thank you, Victoria. Next up, we have Precious Adeyemi. Precious is the CEO of Beaver AI. This is a startup focused on helping Black women find their confidence. Oh, We are privileged to have you as well, Victoria. We're privileged. Thank you so much. Precious is the CEO of Beaver AI, a startup focused on helping Black women find their confidence by providing accurate analysis, skin analysis, and skincare product recommendations and leveraging AI. So she has been able to incorporate tech and skincare, which is massive. Her background is in product management, and she has worked with companies such as Flutterwave, Pay for Me, etc. And she's also served as a mentor and educator in organizations such as She Code Africa, VAA Global, and more communities and organizations, to mention a few. She is really taking the space in the industry. Can we celebrate her so that we could show how excited we are to have her here? Hello, Precious. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Hi, Precious. Thank you so much. We are privileged. Okay, so let's go on to our next speaker, Victoria Irahi. Please do correct me if I do not pronounce the name correctly. Victoria is a strategic HR leader. Please can we all mute our mics? Thank you. Thank you so much. Victoria is a strategic HR leader with nearly 10 years experience sectors. She's a certified consultant known for talent acquisition, employee engagement, culture transformation, and has achieved milestones such as recruiting over 2,000 employees in her career so far. She's data-driven, she's people-focused, and we have her here because we know that when you learn a skill, you want to get hired to have a space where you can give out what you've learned. And that is what Victoria will be helping us out with in our conversations today, being a top HR leader. Then can we celebrate her? Victoria Irahi. It's so nice to have you, Victoria. You just signify so we know you can hear us. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Briefly, we have our last speaker, who is also going to be the moderator of our conversation so that we get the best out of it, Comfort Olatunde. Comfort Olatunde is the founder of Hackademia Institute. She is the leader driving this initiative in Hackademia Institute. She's a seasoned growth marketer with over 9 years of expertise in marketing and sales. When you know someone knows when you can say someone knows their onions, she knows her onions. And she has a proven track record in driving demand generation, customer acquisition, basically incorporating all that, the marketing and the product. And she has done this for so long that she is very recognized and has worked in the top companies and is still driving relevance in a number of companies. So can we celebrate Comfort Olatunde? We celebrate you, Comfort. Thank you so much for this initiative, and thank you for also being here. Let's get right into it. The first session we will be having is the Inspirational Spotlight. This is where, in this session, Precious Adeyemi will be taking us on a beautiful journey through her inspiring rise from limited resources to international recognition. She will share personal stories of resilience, the bold career moves that she made, and the pivotal moments that shaped her success today. Trust me, she's doing big things now. And we know that she came from somewhere, and there are things she did to bring her where she is now. From overcoming self-doubt to seizing global opportunities, she will reveal the mindset, the strategies, and the courage that it takes to thrive as a woman navigating the tech space. So can we celebrate Precious massively so that she pours it all out on us today? Precious, over to you. Thank you so much. Can we celebrate her? Can we celebrate her?
Thank you very much, Temitope. Hi everyone. Temitope speaks very well, so she has done a lot of flattering and things, but let's just get started. So my name is Precious, and I'm trying to do like a brief introduction, like away from all of that very nice stuff. My name is Precious. Adeyemi, I'm Yoruba. I think that's clear enough. And in my free time, I like to run. I'm currently training for like a half marathon. So yeah, that's like the fun thing that I do in my life. I also like to read African literature. So yeah, and I hope that puts into context the kind of person that I am. So my story, there's a lot to say, and I think that there are a lot of moving parts, but I'm going to highlight some things, and I think that I'm going to focus more on confidence and career growth, right? So I do think that confidence comes from knowing, like when you know something, you are very confident. Like if someone says, maybe you have a best friend and someone says your best friend's name is not so so so, but like you and this person have been friends for like say 10 years, you would confidently argue and say this is my best friend's name because you know. But knowing does not just come, knowing comes from learning. And we know that learning, a lot goes into learning. Learning takes sacrifice, it takes time, it takes effort, sometimes it's painful. So yeah, I'm going to try to like explain how, you know, I've tried to be confident in my career and how I have grown in all of that. So yeah, that's what I really want to talk about today. I've set my timer for 18 minutes and hopefully that works out. Yeah. Okay. So I would highlight when I was in university. I think I was in year 2 or no, year 1, second semester. I studied public administration, by the way, and I went to OAU, right? So I remember I was like in my department and I just heard like 2 ladies saying something like, oh, when they're done with school, they're going to go and like they are just going to open a shop and they can't even stress themselves. They're just going to get married and open a shop, and so that their husband would stock up the shop and they would just be like selling and they can't stress themselves. And you know, I heard that and I just could not wrap my head around it because I'm like, okay, so why are we in school then? And in that moment, and these ladies were in my department, I studied public administration, remember? And in that moment, I knew that if I wanted more than this, I had to do more than, you know, average. Like I had to do more than just going to school and trying to, you know, pass my exams. And mind you, as at that time, I was a first class student, like I was doing okay in school, but I just knew that there was no way it would ever be enough, right? And so I started writing I can, not because I wanted to, but because that was the closest, you know, thing to that I knew at the time that could get me out of the trenches, in quotes, let me put it like that. So yeah, I started doing I can and all of that stuff. But later, fast forward to I think 2019, just before the lockdown, learn about tech, and I would be very honest. Initially, the initial motivation for me was just to get out of the trenches. Like I did not want to be poor, and I knew that. Excuse me, from like early on that I wanted to have a lot of money. That was the initial motivation, right? But I mean, you would find that over time, that motivation, that is not enough motivation for you to like keep going because I mean, then you might just have to like you might just get to the point where you can do anything for money, right? So I started doing tech. I'm trying to speed up. I started doing tech, and this is while I was also doing ICANN. And now let me quickly explain what ICANN classes are like. So Monday to Friday, you're doing school things, and on Saturday, you have classes from 8 a.m., sometimes 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., or sometimes 7 p.m. Classes, just classes, right? And then after class, you take a break. Me and my friends, then we would take a short break and then come back to campus to do overnight reading. We'll do this like on Saturday. On Sunday, we wake up early in the morning around 6 from school, go to our hostel, go to church, and come back 1 p.m. for classes again, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. After 7 p.m., do the same routine of overnight class. And then on Monday, you start going to class, after classes to library. So like my life was literally church, library, class, like, and then I can exams on the weekend. So I mean, at that time, it was not a cool thing to do. But in hindsight, when I think about it, I would say that I've learned that there are some things that you just have to do if you really want to like make sense of life sometimes. Like the way life is, except there are some people, of course, who have the luxury of, what's the word now? Like who have the luxury of soft life from birth. Maybe they were born with silver spoon or golden spoon, whatever spoon like it is, right? And so because of that, they can easily sit back and say, oh, and like choose different many options. But there are some people like me, some of us who did not or do not have that many options. And so because of that, you cannot do everything everyone is doing. Like you cannot enjoy everything everyone is enjoying at this time, like or at some certain stages of your life. And it will require, you know what they say on Twitter, like it will require some certain level of locking in and denying yourself some kind of enjoyment, some delayed gratification, especially as a woman. Like it's very easy. It's also in terms of finances. Like it's easy to say you'd rather buy clothes and do this than save. But the consequence of that is you would not have like a good financial life and your bank account may not be standing so well. Right? It's easier to say you want to watch Netflix than take that course because that's just a very comfortable thing to do. But the consequence is that you would not get to learn and you cannot tell them at a job interview that I have learned this, hire me. Like, and so when you think about it, right, the whole essence of growth is very uncomfortable. And I think that I'm very grateful. Let me pause and very quickly credit a whole lot of like the things that I've done in my life to God, because I think that God really saved me. I'm a Christian and I really like to credit everything that I've done back to God, because sometimes you think that it's easy for a person to wake up and say, oh, they want to chase their dreams, but some people don't even have the willpower to do that. So yeah, I'm going to continue to say that growth is very uncomfortable, and like the path of growth can be very lonely and uncool. But if like you are the kind of woman who at some point you want to be known as something, or you want to have something for yourself, and this is not even about being popular, this is about having something like that is your own, that you can do, like being regarded as a competent woman because you can do something very well, right? And I don't really want to talk a lot about competence today because, sometimes that can be relative. But what I want to talk about is career growth and confidence, something that even you yourself can easily measure. Like you can easily measure how you were last year and how you were this year. I mean, you can lie to yourself, but you also know the difference between like who you were last year and who you are this year. If you got worse, you would know. If you got better, you would also know. Right. Another point in my life was February 2020. I think there was a strike in my school, and I was like my final lap or something. I'm not sure, but no, I was actually going to year 3. I think there was a strike, and I went on Twitter and I posted that okay, I've taken courses in product management, and I'm so tired of the strike and everything. So, like, I want somebody to take a chance on me and to give me an internship, paid or unpaid. I just want something. And I think it all started there. The CEO of the first or second company that I worked at actually reached out, and I sent my CV and went through like their process. Now I'm going to pause there. So notice that I said I was the one who went on Twitter. So in this world that we are now at, or at this stage that the world is, you don't have the luxury of just sitting down and waiting for things to come to you. People will say things like, what is meant for you will come to you. Quick, cause that in quick, Sarah, like what will be will actually not be. Like if you don't make it be, it won't be. Like okay, I'm getting very very emotional because this is actually a topic I'm very passionate about. Like what will be will not be. You have to move. You have to do something to make it be. So Remember I said that I actually went on Twitter. For some people, I've seen people who maybe made a post on LinkedIn, and because of that, they got opportunities. Sometimes it's not even about making a post. It's just about, actively letting the people around you know that, oh, I'm a product designer, or I'm interested in product design and I started learning. If you find any opportunities, please send them my way. And because of you, like by virtue of you actively telling people, when they see anything related to product design, you are the first person that comes to their mind. Like, it's not magic. It's just what it is. Like, if you're telling people that it also happens, think about it. There are some people in your network that maybe they talk about a certain thing that they do, like, and because of that, when you see maybe a poster or you see something, they are the first person that comes to your mind. And that's just how it is. Like, we're talking about confidence, right? First of all, you are learning something. I don't believe that anyone on this call, like, maybe they are not learning, but if you are not learning anything or you are not trying to learn anything, you should. That's not really what I want to talk about today. But while you're learning, I think that confidence comes from knowing that you're actually learning this thing and not just for certification. Some people do things that they just take courses so they can come on LinkedIn, say, I'm happy to announce that I took this. Like, literally, that's on you. You're like, you're doing yourself. I don't know how else to explain that. But if you're actually learning, you'll be confident to tell people that I'm doing this thing, right? Because you're actually doing it and you know you are doing it, you know you're putting your effort. And then that's kind of trickles down to how you interact with people outside, how you boldly tell people that, oh, this is something that I'm really interested in, send opportunities my way. Like, opening your mouth is to give you the ginger, pardon my language, to like talk about the things that you do, right, as a woman. And sometimes, yes, it's normal to feel like, oh, maybe you have not done enough yet, so you don't want to shout about it. Yeah, maybe that's okay for a while, but it will not be okay if you are shy to talk about it on social media, but you're also shy to talk about it amongst your friends. Like, there are literally some people that they are doing something, or they are learning, maybe they're taking a course, a virtual assistant course, and the first time that their friend circle like will know about it is on Twitter. Like, why is that happening? You need to talk about what you do. That's where confidence comes from. Sometimes people say that, oh, external validation does not matter. The truth is, sometimes it does. If someone says, oh, like, if someone says, oh, Temitope, I've been seeing like your work on LinkedIn, what you post, well done. Do you know what that does? It encourages you to keep doing it. So sometimes external validation matters. Please don't listen to, of course, external validation should not define you, but sometimes it matters. So yeah, I got that internship, and I was doing that internship because I spoke about it. And somehow along the line, I got an email from Flutterwave saying that somebody recommended me for like a role. And I'm going to quickly talk about that. So another thing about career growth is like doing excellently well wherever you are now. Like, with whatever you have, it may just be a job that's paying you, an internship that maybe they are just paying you stipend for data. There are lots of internships like that. But like, you literally have to do your best. Like, if you don't want to do your best, don't do it at all. Like, if you know that you're going to do a shitty work and you're just going to mess up there, like, because you don't like it, you don't like the place, don't do it at all. I think that people on social media also glorify a lot of, like, they kind of paint the picture that maybe your first job should be awesome. They should imagine that you are just getting out of university, paying you maybe ₦1,000,000 per month or 500,000 per month. Now, I'm not saying that's not possible. That's something that has happened to me. But is that the norm? No. Like, you need to understand that that's not what is, especially in Nigeria, it's not what is generally like common or normal, right? You would get jobs like that maybe with BCG, consulting, management consulting firms, or finance firms, or VC firms, but not with startups. Like, and so when you set expectations that, oh, if they're not going to be paying me 500K, I'm not applying. You with your skill level, with everything, like, so I think being realistic is also important, right? And I was saying that, okay, I got here from saying that you have to do your best work. So how did Fluttery reached out to me to give me this, to offer me this role without applying, by the way. I had done something with them for campus ambassadorship, and I used to like keep in touch with the people, the Fluttery staff there, and just like about what I'm doing. And there was this particular guy who is now my friend that I would reach out to. At that time, I was not even doing product management. I wanted to do HR. So I was telling him that, oh, I've taken this course in HR, I've done that. But when I switched product management, I told him that, oh, I found out that HR is not really what I want. And do you know the funny thing? This guy, a lot of times, he will not respond to my DMs. Like, he will literally not respond to my DMs. But I kept updating him to say, I've taken this course, I've done this. And someday, like, he found out they said there was a role, an open role for product management, and he just recommended me. Remember what I said earlier, that when you talk about what you want to do, when people see that thing, you'll be the first person to come to mind because you have actively spoken about it. So I got the role to flutter with, and yeah, I was doing product management and doing my thing, which was awesome, by the way. And I was doing my thing until one day, I was asking myself and my friend, okay, I'm gonna pause and say that please have good female friends, like female friends that would help you. Some women will come and say, oh, I don't do friendship with females. They prefer to do with men because men don't gossip. This is 1025. I really hope nobody's saying that, because just by talking about it, I'm almost having a headache. Like, just have good female friends. Pray if you have to, ask God to send them your way. God answers prayers. He will definitely do that for you, right? But have good female friends. So I was having this conversation with my friend, and we're like, there has to be something more than 9 to 5. Like, there has to be something more than 9 to 5. And we decided that year we would apply to international opportunities. Like, all the opportunities we would apply to would be international opportunities in terms of fellowships, not just jobs, fellowships and all of that. So I'm going to pause there and also say that please don't just be okay with like the bare minimum, right? Sometimes it's good. I mean, someone will say, but you got a job at Shorter, was that not good? It was good, but like, was that also the best that I could be doing at that time? That's the question. Like, so when wherever you are now, always ask yourself, is this the best I can be doing at this point in time? Because there are some people that their potentials are like underutilized because they don't realize that they've outgrown where they are and they need to step out of it, right? So we start applying and applying. There's someone called Imade Yamon on, oh my God, okay, I think I have 2 minutes more. There's someone called Imade Yamon on Twitter. Please, if you can, find her and follow her, because she has really helped my life. So she posts something about 100 rejections, application tracker. I still use the application tracker till today, right? And then I copy pasted the application tracker and I start putting all of these international opportunities with myself and my friends, and we would, track each other and say, okay, let's apply for this today, we are applying for this and all of that. And we still do that till today, like Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. on my calendar is blocked because it's like personal development time with myself and a friend of mine. We'll get on a Google Meet call and we just apply for opportunities. That's what we do, right? And in all of that, we all got okay, I'm gonna do that. Imade Yamu. I'll do that like when I'm done talking. So yeah, we all got this opportunity and we were interviewing and all of that. Ended up that one of my friends said she was not it didn't align with what she wanted. So she dropped off the interview process. My other friend didn't get in the interview process, and then it was just me. And at some point, this is where good friendships actually matter. At some point, when I had gotten to like the interview first, the application was long and I was applying and my browser cleared. It took my friends to encourage me to apply again. That's one. Secondly, when I got to the interview stage, they invited us to come to Lagos for the interview. I didn't want to go because it was in VI. I didn't have anywhere to live close to VI. Again, my friends came through and said, you have to go. They actually booked my hotel. Like, they put money together, booked the hotel for me and said, you don't have any choice, you have to go. And I went, and I'm so grateful I went because that really changed my life. So that opportunity took me like to Ghana for a whole year, like on like full scholarship, like expenses, accommodation, everything, food, literally for the entire year, and salaries even. And that's where my entrepreneurship journey started. So I'm going to close with this, right? I've already established a bunch of things. I've established that um confidence comes from knowing, right? It's not, boldness can be an innate, maybe a gift that you were born with. I don't know. But confidence, it comes from knowing. You can't, it's not something you can be born, like it's not something people are born with. It's because you know something, that's why you're confident about it. And to know, you have to learn, right? And learning takes sacrifice. Like learning takes a lot of sacrifice. We have also established that growth is not comfortable. Growth is very, very uncomfortable. Another thing that I also mentioned in this whole thing is like learn to put yourself out there, let people know what you are doing. It's okay if you are not sure if this is what you want to do for your entire life. Nobody is. Right now, I'm a startup founder. I don't know if that's what I want to do for the rest of my life, but this is what I'm doing now, and this is what I will put my effort into, like building right now at this time. So let people know what you're doing. Speak about your craft. If you don't have a craft, speak to people. They will help you find out. Like there's help, literally. There are resources everywhere that you can take advantage of. Another thing I also talked about is having good female friendships. Please have friends who will motivate you, not friends who you guys, I'm sure you have heard this before. So like just have good friends, solid friendships, right? And then like be on the lookout for opportunities. Go out of your way to look for opportunities. There are you'll be surprised to know there are opportunities. Let me tell you guys, right now, when I finished the 1 year um scholarship thing, and I started my company, Viva AI. And then it's basically, the point I'm trying to make is another opportunity that I applied for literally took me out of Nigeria. I'm currently in Germany, and I'm in an accelerator that is trying to help me like form my business idea and make sure that we are investment ready and on the right track. But it was not because like that opportunity didn't fall on my lap. Actually, somebody sent it to me because I had been talking about what I'm building, and they said, "Oh, I saw this and thought of you." I mean, when people do that, it also takes an extra effort from you to apply, right? But first, you have to talk about what you do. You talk about it enough that people will now be believing you, say, "Oh, okay, she's serious." And then they will think about you when they see opportunities. And when people send you opportunities, apply. Sometimes, I can't tell you how many times I've hated applying for opportunities. Like, when I talk about applying for opportunities, people think it's so fun and nice. It's not. It's hard, right? You have to think about how to write, how to do this, how to explain yourself. It's really hard. But go out of your way to apply for opportunities. Don't just be comfortable with being okay. Like there's a lot more that you can be than just being okay. So yeah, and finally, like it's very nice to say that yes, I've done all of these things. I'm very hardworking. I know I am, and all of that. But please, I'm going to credit this to God. I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus, and I always credit everything I do to Jesus Christ. So please, when you say celebrate me, also thank God for my life. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for having me, and I hope that you have learned one or two things from what I said. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Precious. Can we give a hand for that session? Sharing her journey, sharing all that she has learned, giving us what took her to where she is now. Please let's do that. Drop a clapping emoji. Thank you so much, Precious. Looking at how your journey came about, we can see that you had to learn, you had to put in the work, and that gave you some confidence. I remembered when you said that confidence comes from learning. You have to learn first, put in the investments that is needed to be confident about what you're doing. It takes some investment. Learn the skill you need, expand on the skill that you're learning, there are there's much more than what you know now. And the more you learn, the more your confidence increases. Thank you so much, Precious. I think that's my own take home. If you have a personal take home, please definitely drop it in the chat box. Maybe something that flew past our heads could be reminded in our hearts. So briefly, I would like to ask if anyone has questions for Precious. Do we have any questions? Briefly. Okay. Let me give like 5 seconds more. Someone might be contemplating. All right. If no one has any questions, can we celebrate Precious one more time before we move on? Thank you so much, Precious. That was very personal, and that's what we wanted. Thank you so much. Can we right now we'll be going on to the next session. Thank you so much. Okay, I guess we have a question now from Amaka. All right, thank you, Amaka. I've seen it. The question is, how did you balance focusing on what matters with peer pressure?
Well,
how did you balance focus on what matters with peer pressure?
For starters, I think that especially now that tech is very prominent, there's a lot of things moving around, and there's a gazillion things that you can be doing if you're not doing like what you're doing. When you just realize that if you pick one thing, right, it takes, let's say, for the first 6 months for you to get the hang of it, and then another like maybe 2 years for you to, now start finding your feet in that industry. When you have that understanding, then you know that you cannot be jumping everywhere, like, and anywhere, right? Because it takes time to build something solid. So I think for me, I wouldn't say it's because, I saw in a dream, this is your way, because what I was doing 2 years ago is not what I'm doing now, to be honest. But it still goes back to doing research. Before you pick one thing that you want to do your research properly, pray, be sure that this is what you want to commit the next 2 years to learning or whatever, and then commit your time to learning properly, right? If along the way, when you're doing that thing, another opportunity comes to do something else that you can easily flow into, by all means do it. But peer pressure is, it will always come, but I think you just have to give yourself some kind of discipline and focus to just put all your effort in one thing, because regardless of whatever you want to do, it takes time. Even if you say that you don't want to do tech because you think tech is hard and you want to crochet, go and look at the people that are doing very well, like in the crocheting business. They didn't get there yesterday. Like, it took years and years of doing things and doing it well. So yeah, when you realize that things take time, I guess how do you focus on just one thing at a particular time? How are you able to handle distractions? I think that also kind of, my answer initially also kind of answers that. But distractions in terms of, okay, I mean, when I was in school, I really wasn't, to be honest, I will not lie, I really wasn't the very, like, going out type. I used to go out, but like not like a lot. But I think other distractions that came for me would be, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure now, but they were distractions. Some that I cannot even really mention here. But I think that what's really helped me is when understanding that nobody will come to save me. Like, sometimes it's not enough to know that nobody's coming to save you. That's why, again, I'll keep saying you need God, right? But when you understand that nobody's coming to save you, at least I knew that nobody's coming to save me. And so sometimes I get distracted, but I find my way back. So I cannot sit down here and tell you, there was never a time I was distracted. Oh, I was distracted a lot of times. But like, it's always, knowing what drives you. Again, that's why I said money cannot be the only thing driving you, right? It cannot just be, oh, you just want to have money. Like that, it will not stand for long. So when you have something that drives you, find it, whatever it is, whether it's purpose, like whether it's money is also a good driver, but it's just not enough. right? You want to have money, you want to fulfill purpose, you want to help people, you want to take your, be able to help your family or something like that. There are a lot of things that it can be. So once you find that thing, whenever like distraction comes and maybe you indulge for a little bit, it will be a reminder that, yeah, I have gotten distracted. I need to go back to like my roots. I really hope that answers your question. But yeah, because of time, you can always reach out and ask me like questions and I will respond. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Precious. Thank you, Amaka and Opeyemi, for asking that question. I'm pretty sure probably a number of people had that in mind, and you just helped put that out so that they could get answers. So thank you once again, Precious. That was an insightful session, and we've really taken a lot from it. Thank you once again. So please, if you have any questions, so that we have them on time, you can drop them in the chat box so that we are able to attend to them as the session goes on. So now we're moving on to the interactive session. This is the session that will bring our professionals together and talk about dire matters, the navigating the industry trends, overcoming stereotypes, including key traits women need to succeed in tech, including skill development and breaking the barriers that are currently stopping you right now. And this session will be moderated by Comfort Olatunde. Can we celebrate her? And on this panel, would have Victoria Oladosu, if I pronounce that correctly, would have Victoria Erahi. We would have Precious Adeyemi as well, speaking more on whatever questions will be asked. So thank you, Comfort Olatunde.
Okay, thank you very much, Temitope. Thank you very much, Precious. That was a really insightful one. My note is actually filled up, and I can't wait for us to get into this other session. So I'm just going to get right into it. But before we do that, I would want our speakers to just do a quick introduction of themselves. I loved how Precious did our own background, and I would love for Victoria and the other person, two Victorias and the other person to also do that as well. So then Victoria, would you mind just giving us a quick introduction of yourself as well, so that everybody can also meet you. Hi, Victoria, can you hear me?
Hi, sorry, which of the Victoria were you referring to?
You, Victoria.
Okay. That's all right. Hi, everyone. Hi. How you doing? It's so nice to be here. Also, shout out to the team, the Hackademia team, Precious Adeyemi that just spoke. You spoke beautifully. I'm definitely that we all learned something from what you talked about. I've been introduced earlier, but the introduction was not. So I'm not a product designer. I am a product manager. I'm a data product manager. And this means that I work, at the intersection of product management and data analytics. So it's like bringing data and product management together. And I've been working in this field for the past 4 years now. I've been a product manager for the past 4 years. I have also transitioned into accommodating analytics in the past, say, 1 year now. And so apart from, being this at my workplace or wherever I am contracted to be this, I have also founded Product of Africa and STEM School. So Product of Africa is an EdTech organization where we help people transition or actually start their career in tech. And STEM School is also an organization where we tour secondary schools and universities across Africa. So we have toured institutions in Lagos, Abuja, Togo. We're actually planning for Accra soon, and we're also planning a tour in Osun State soon, where we'll be visiting 6 universities in Osun State. Or you really mad, 6 universities in Osun State, and this is what I do, right? Generally, if you look at all of these things I'm doing, it is, I'd say, my driving factor is making impact. So whenever people meet me outside and they ask me, what do you like to do? I think the only way I'm able to sum it up is I love to make impact. That's my driving factor. That's what fuels my passion. That's what fuels my bold ideas. Just making impact, really. And yeah, that's it about me. I have worked at places as a pro manager. I've worked at fintech companies, social matching companies. When I say social matching, I mean I've developed a dating app for a South African company. I've worked in business consulting companies as a product manager also. And it was just, I think, last year that I started to work at the intersection of analytics also. And I have thoroughly enjoyed this process. I have enjoyed my growth, and I've enjoyed the confidence I've been able to build over the years. And I'm also hoping that I'll be able to share 1 or 2 things that I have done that's helped me with you all today. Once again, it's really nice to meet you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Precious, I would have asked you to do introduction as well. I think you already did that, so I don't think there is any need to do that. Or what do you think? Do you want to go again? Okay, we're good. Okay, so we're going to get right into it. I'm not sure Victoria is on this call. Victoria is on this call. So, please confirm. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, you're
probably
saying something?
probably
Probably
she
should drop off and should join
yeah,
us back.
I'll get on that now.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. Okay, so my first question, I like to start this type of sessions with that particular question because it gives us a little bit more background into your story and what inspired you generally into getting into tech. So I'd like to know, starting from Victoria, what really was there like a reason you decided to get into tech, or just woke up okay, yes, tech is what I want to do, or there is a particular reason you decide to get into tech in general? Hello, Victoria, did you get my question? Hello, Victoria. Your mic is muted in case you're talking.
I think it was buffering, so I did not really get.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I asked what really inspired you to get into tech in general? What inspired you? Was it that was it a friend? Was it something that I saw, or was it more like a passion to you?
Yeah, actually, it started as a passion. So in my early days, I would say when I was still in school, I schooled in Unilorin, by the way. Sorry, can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, because it seems Comfort's network is buffering, so I just want to be sure it's fast. Okay, I schooled in Unilorin, by the way, for my BSc, and right there, I studied economics, and my department is just right beside the computer science department. And I think I minored from a computer science course one time. Actually, from a very young age, I've always been fascinated about computers, the internet, all these things. I've always been fascinated because my mom is also that way. Just grew up around computers, let me say it that way. And I had the opportunity to learn brand management along the way, and I started with that. But I knew that I wanted to do more. So I just need to confirm that you all can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, Victoria.
Yes, I
Thank
can hear you.
Okay, so I started with that, and I wanted to do more for myself, right? And like I said, I've always been fascinated with tech, but there was this setback I'd usually have whenever I reach out to friends that are in the computer science department. It's not artsy, it's not woman-like, and you should focus on your economics, right? And I'd always let them know that, oh, I can actually do more. This is what I want to do. I can do more. I can be more. Okay, I'm going to start with something. I went ahead, made research, and I saw different courses that I'd actually like to do. I saw software development. I saw all these courses. I checked Coursera. God, I made a lot of research. And while doing this, it got tiring at some points, also because I did not have people to lean on, people to ask questions. I didn't have like a community to, be there for me, to ask questions, to get clarifications and all of that. And, it was a rough journey for me, right? That's just what I'm going to say. It was a rough journey. It took me a whole year to actually balance, to find a balance, to know what I want to do, and to actually decide on doing product management. I started with product design. I didn't enjoy product design because it felt boring. It was like I was doing the same thing all over and all over and all over, designing screens, doing this, like, I'm tired of designing screens, okay? I have done this yesterday. I've done the website, I've done the mobile, done wireframing, this. Is the only Figma you guys have? Okay, Photoshop. Is the only Photoshop you guys have? Okay, this. I'm tired, okay? I want something challenging. I want something motivating. I want something where I discuss with actual people. I want something that's going to challenge me, bring me out of my box, right? And I also found out that if I had gone into coding, I'm already an introvert. It would just make things worse because I'm going to be on my monitor all day, coding and coding and coding and coding, and they're only going to need me if there's a bug or if something is not working. Why are you going to need me only if there's a bug? And I'm like, no. Okay, I'm going to do product management. Let us get into it. And I started, researching about product management. I found out that you're going to work with all of these people, right? As a product manager, you're really going to have all these people around you. You're going to have to discuss with them, plan with them, strategize with them, even discuss with the people that are going to use your product after you have built it. You're going to discuss with them before and after. Wow, that's where I want to be, right? And I just put in the work, learned it. It took me years. Till today, I'm still learning. Currently, my tabs and my open tabs, I have like, say, 6 courses that I'm currently doing, side by side. So I learn every day, currently learning every day, and I don't think I'll ever stop learning. And that's just how I got into product management. That's how I found my footing. I did not let the noise of, those people telling me to focus on economics or do something girly. It goes to a point, some of them were asking me, don't you want to own a business? Don't you want to start something? Why do you want to be in computer, why do you want to be around computers? Why do you want to learn tech? Why do you want to do this? And I'm like, there's so much more. I know there's so much more. I have made the research, I've watched, I've listened. And, at the end of the day, they are the ones coming back now to tell me, wow, you made the right decision for yourself. We don't believe that this is you, and that's one thing that's always stuck with me. Don't let them meet you the same way they left you. So that's just it. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much, Victoria. I hope you can hear me clearly now. Okay, great. Okay, so I think one thing I got from what you said in particular was around, I think just to paraphrase it, like knowing yourself and not allowing your environment and around it to dictate exactly what you need to do. Because I think I really relate with it, because I personally I got into marketing, but at some point everybody was saying product management. See how much you love product management. I personally am not a big fan of product management, because because it comes with a lot of headache. You know, imagine working with developers that just, you know, they believe that what they want is what they want, and you just have to um go with it. And if you're not agreeing with them, it's like you're how will I call it? Like you're like village witch. So it's and I do not like so much confrontation. So I got into marketing, and then during the COVID period, my sister is a developer. So she was like, you need to get into tech so that we can do this together. And while she's coding, I'm the one managing the project and all of those. So I got curious, and then I took a course in product management. I did it for 1 year. But please, I just dropped it. I dropped it and moved back to my product to marketing. But at the end of the day, I think it was a good experience for me, and something that I can apply even in product marketing, because while I was learning product management, I also had the opportunity to use Figma, which now gave me experience in product design in itself. So as a product manager, you have, and there are some product management that you would, some technical product manager that you most likely need to learn some basic coding skills. So that means that product management gives you a robust skill. So you're able to understand across board what a a designer does, what a product marketing do. I know product managers who also create go-to-market plans. So that is really, really for someone who really wants to be all hands across tech field, I think product management could definitely be a good fit for that. Thank you very much, Victoria. So Precious, what are those challenges that you think people generally face in tech that we all believe is just because I saw a post on a friend's status that a female sent him a DM um, that she got a job, and by the time she found out that everybody was earning more than her. So, and then but there are people, females, that, and she claimed this to be it's because she's a female, that's why they are paying her less than what she's meant to earn. And it's in the tech space, right? So do you believe that it's basically because she's a female, or because she didn't really sell herself better, or she didn't negotiate, or negotiating skills? Because I personally have worked in a company where I was leading developers who are male, but I'm earning more than them. And I've worked in a company where every other person in the company, I am earning more than them, but they are male dominated. So I don't know, because it was a really conversational. She was really troubled about that. The fact that everybody in the company, most of our team members who are male, were earning more than her. So do you think it's a gender thing, or it's a negotiation skills that we should learn? General, Precious.
Yeah, I'm going to ask a few questions to kind of get clarity. Like the other people in the organization, like in terms of experience and skill, like are they senior to her, or they are all on the same level?
They're on the same level. They're on the same level.
Well, that's very interesting. So then there's a problem there. So if like everyone, including and the guys, are like on the same level and she's earning less, then I mean, okay. So one thing I learned in corporates, right, is that you can't be emotional. You can't say, "Oh, look at what they're doing. They're paying them more than me. Is it because I'm a girl?" Like, that's not your father's house. You can't be like. So I think best approach, based off of what I learned, right, is to record. We always see these things where people say record like your contribution, to the team. Like, record it, like have it documented, and then send an email to say that you don't even have to say, oh, she doesn't even have to say, oh, I noticed that other people are earning more than me. That is already an emotional response, right? So you say something like, oh, based off of this, and that I have done, I believe that I should be earning more than I am earning. Please, can we review my salary? You know, a request for your salary to be reviewed, excuse me, or, you know, a request for your salary to be reviewed based off of the amount of work that you are doing and how much your work is, you know, contributing to the organization. She shouldn't say anything about for what other people are earning, or they're earning more than her. Like, that's already, you know, that's already, once you mention that, that's already one way for them to come and say that, oh, so is that why you are like complaining? Or do you think we don't know what we are doing? Or do you think we don't know the reason? It will already get too messy like that, right? I think that one thing we need to learn as women is, yes, it's very easy to get like to be sad, because I've had like a similar experience, although mine was not in comparison to like a male or anything. It was just simply me feeling like I was being underpaid. And I can tell you so much about this because I went about it the wrong way at first. And I was so like, I was just saying, oh, why am I not just being emotional about it? And then bless her heart, one of my managers at the time, she just called me. She had a meeting with me and she said, why are you, this is an emotional response. I want you to go write down everything that you have done and put it in a document, attach it to the email, copy, like CC this person and this person. And I tell you that it works. I mean, yeah, I think that would be a much better response than trying to say, like, let's not do that, because the expected response from you know, people expect from a woman is that, and maybe even cry and say like, you don't need all of that, just come with facts. Like, people can dispute anything except facts. Is it facts that you have done all of these things? Yes. Is it fact that you contribute to the company in this way? Yes. If that's it, then review my salary. It's just that simple. So yeah.
Thank you very much. I completely 100% agree with you. And to add to that, I think we women are very, very quick to blame everything on gender. And some of these things are not really related to it. Everybody wants to say, oh, it's because I'm a female. But that's not it. So in most cases, that's not it. And it's sometimes it's also about how best you're able to sell yourself. Because trust me, when I applied to a company, and I've done this over the years, and I realized it works. It works because no matter, if you tell me that the salary is 500,000 naira, and then I look at the general in the industry, what is required, what is necessary, and what is needed. I look at my own capacity and my skills, and I use it to say, okay, this is what I want, and this is what I want. But trust, and the thing is that every company would always tell you, would always look out for themselves, and they would always look for ways to save costs. And because it's business, right? So if they are paying someone who was in your role 500K before, there's a possibility that when they are bringing someone in, they would want to try the luck and see if they can make it lower. And if you're not smart enough, you tell them that you accept that lower amount, they would just take it that way. You're still on the best route. So, and that is basically, after so many conversations with this lady, realized that this is what really happened. They told her a particular amount during the interview stage, and that was what she agreed upon. And but when she got to the company, she found that everybody is earning more than her, and then they are on the same level, but she's earning lower. Even though the company could have been honest, but we don't always trust companies. Most companies like that. So as a person, you have to really, really understand your value. Do research do research, look at the industry. What is the standard in that industry? If that industry, if you're meant to be taking 200K in that industry, and the company is offering you lower than that, there is no harm in telling them that this is what you need, and this is what you want, and this is what, and based on your experience in itself as well, you can let them know this is my experience, and this is my experience level, and this is it. I've had to turn down a lot of job offers in the past years, not because they were not good jobs, but because the pay was not, or the quality of work that I wanted was not really good. So we have to take our mind away from so much about it's a gender thing, and sometimes speak up, just like what Precious said. Look at the job that you've done, the work that you put in, and let them know that this is what I have done, and this is what you deserve. Every smart company don't want to lose their best player. So once if they see that you are really good and your work, definitely they would. And trust me, I've done that too, and I got higher pay as well. Like just by telling them that this, and I think it stems from a lot of fear as well from people, from women as well in general. So yeah, Precious, I saw your hand was up. You want to add something?
Yes, I just want to talk about how I understand that sometimes when you're starting on, maybe you just started in the career, maybe it's your first job, like first official job after working on case studies or something. Like, and so because of that, you are afraid to ask for a large amount of money. Like, valid though, because I've been there. Like I've thought, okay, maybe if I say this amount, they'll say they are no longer hiring me, and they'll say, okay, we'll go with the next person, right? So that fear is valid, right? But I would also encourage that, like Comfort said, right? Check what the standard is. You see, some people even overdo it. They go and some people are very delusional. Delusional is good though, but you have to put checks and balances. Like they're going to be asking for big money, and the company will be like, "Oh, you're not ready," right? But like, ask for a reasonable amount. Don't be afraid to ask. The worst they can say is no, and usually they would just give you a counter offer. They usually would not say, "Oh no, get out, you are greedy." They won't say that. They will just say, "Oh, we understand that this is what you're asking, but this is what the budget is." They will tell you, and then you can negotiate and all of that stuff. But don't be afraid to ask. That's one thing. And then there are some jobs that they don't even give you room for negotiating, especially internships. They just tell you you're paying 50K for this internship. Fine now. Please don't say because of that you won't take. Please take the job. Like, embrace small beginnings. Yeah, please embrace small beginnings, because I think my first internship I was earning 30K, which was not a lot even at that time, but it was enough to get my foot in the door. And I remember when I was interviewing for the next role, one of the reasons they thought I stood out as like a good candidate was because I'd already done that internship. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Precious. Thank you so much. Victoria, do you want to add something to this conversation?
I feel like Comfort has said, Precious has said, most of it. But really, it's not about what you get in with. It's about what you make of where you are getting into. So when you get into the place, just make sure you get in first. That's what I always tell people. Don't look at the money. In fact, there's some internships that do not come with salary. Yeah, they can even just give you maybe data stipend or something. Make sure you get in first. When you get in, then prove yourself, build your resume, and try to get out of there, right? I know people that have gotten into places like actual big companies. I don't want to mention names, but big companies, and they got in as maybe sales rep, customer service rep, all of this. But now they're product managers. They are product marketing managers. They're in, higher positions. They have gone past where they were. And some of them, it doesn't even take them 2 years. That's the funny thing. Once you get in and you started to build yourself, build your capacity, and you can prove it, you don't just have the certifications, but you have the skills and you can show them. As far as you're in that place, it's easy, it's even easy for you to move from being maybe a sales rep in that same company to being a product person in that same company. So yeah, just get in first. And be confident. As a woman, you have the inborn ability, inborn capacity to be confident. So remove the inequality stereotype out of your mind. I know that it is there, it is somewhere in the air, right? But don't be fixated on it. Remove it from your mind. Whenever things come up, sometimes, wow, you know how Twitter can be so toxic, right? Sometimes I see some issues or trending topics on Twitter, and it doesn't even have to do with inequality, but there's some women that actually turn it into a topic concerning inequality. I do not want us to be that way. I actually want us to focus on ourselves. Even if they're paying the men more than they're paying you, which I think is even rare now, right? I don't think this is 2025. I don't think people do that. But if that happens, please take note of what Precious has said. Try to show yourself what are you doing and how can you prove that you are doing it. Focus on that and prove it to the right people. Take it to HR, take it to, the people that actually make a difference for you and people that can actually change that situation for you rather than crying over what's not there. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you so much. And the funny thing is that what a lot of people do not understand yet in the corporate world is that I've spoken to a lot of founders and even some HR, and they always mention that most entrepreneurs and most companies want to hire female managers because they feel like women make better leaders and better managers in the workspace. So just like what Victoria, take your mind off those stereotypes because it doesn't help you, and whatever thing you're saying to the HR at that particular moment in time to let them see your value, they would rather see it more like a rant or you're being so emotional. So rather put in your documents together. I have a friend that whatever achievement that he does, whatever huge thing that he does in the workplace, he documents it. He put like a document together. So when it's time for him to request for appraisal or salary increment, he puts that up there, sends a mail detailed with analytics, and it results. You think that this person is actually presenting to the board of directors for the result that he has achieved for F1 to F1 to F5. So document the things, the amazing work that you've done. And there's one thing that Precious also said at the beginning of when she mentioned that confidence comes from knowing, right? And when when you know these things, and how do you now show people that yes, you have that value? Document the things that you've done and let them see it. And we should also not be afraid to speak up in meetings. Because there is nobody will carry you on top of the head more than you. Nobody will sing your praises more than you. So in meetings, talk. It's not a matter of, oh, you're too proud or showing up. Trust me, in the workplace, you have to constantly show up for yourself by speaking up in a meeting, putting up your own strategy and letting them look, this is what you think it works. Is this your own recommendation? That way, people can even see you and, recommend you for opportunities where necessary. And when you even come up for appraisal, then okay, this lady has been contributing so much in the place of work. So yeah, thank you very much, Victoria and Precious, for your amazing insights, and it was really insightful. So please, everyone, if you have any questions, just feel free to drop it in the chat. We will be wrapping up this session in a few moments. We have Victoria Erai here with us now. Thank you very much, Victoria. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us.
I'm good. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. So Victoria is a recruiter, and I would really is an HR professional, and I would really like her to provide us our own thoughts and perspective on how women in general can put themselves better for opportunities in the workspace in general. So I would like you to talk on that, Victoria. Hello, Victoria. Did you hear me?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I didn't know I was muted. Thank you very much, Academia, for having me. It's been quite an interesting discussion. I've been paying attention to every of the panelists. You've done fantastic. I'm an HR professional with over a decade of experience, currently working with TVC Communication as a senior manager. And this discourse about women in corporate in general, not just in tech, is actually a huge one. Now we're talking about confidence, competence, having a growth mindset. There's previous narrative of, oh, women cannot do it. I like what Victoria said, that we're in 2025, it really is not there. But there's an undertone. Now, as a woman, what stands you out is authenticity. Before we start talking about confidence, competence, you're authentic, you're true. You're not trying to be someone else. We always sometimes want to come with the victim mentality. Oh, I'm the woman. They are not paying me so much. Oh, no. See, when you go into any space with a victim mentality, when you go into any space with a mentality of, oh, they already see me low, that's your first point of failure. So as women, one of the things you do to own your own space is you're authentic. It shows in how you speak, it shows in how you work, it shows in your demeanor, it shows all over you as a person. Don't try to be anybody else. I always tell people, I say, I love a lot of HR thought leaders in my space. I admire them, but I don't want to be like any of them. The only thing I want to be on a daily basis is a better version of Victoria. And that is what influenced my post on LinkedIn every day. I'm not trying to come and bamboozle anyone with corporate jargons. No. My presence, my work will do the talking. So women, you have a lot of power. You have to be authentic. You have to be true. You need to own your space, especially in the tech industry where it is a male-dominated place. I was opportune to be, at invited as a guest speaker at an event where I had other panelists. I had someone from Paystack who was one of these developers and all. And when she was speaking, she said she knew she was going into a male-dominated space. And so one of the things that stood her out was authenticity. They know you for something and they know that is it. You're not coming today, you're a fashionista. Tomorrow you're coming, you don't even know your work. Next tomorrow you're coming, you don't even know how to speak up. Next tomorrow you're coming, you don't know how to do anything. See, you need to be authentic. What would people know you for? That is when they say, oh, this person is working in this organization, what do people know you for? Whatever people know you for is the label people would give you. That's the truth. When you walk into the boardroom, what do people know you for? Oh, I know Victoria, she will never tell a lie. I know Victoria, she has integrity. I know Victoria, because the truth is authenticity has a way of going into every other thing we do. So it is important for us to have that. Now, speaking of confidence, competence, and career mindset, I like what women are doing in this age and time. One of the things, I know one of the panelists said it, do not shut up. Speak up, and do speak up where it matters. You go for meetings, you want to keep quiet. There's this movie. I know most of us will know the movie. What's this woman's name? Oh, she's popular. Where she was the geometrist for a particular, organization, and it was a white-dominated industry. So she was even black to start with. They don't even have black male. But do you know what? She spoke up at every point in time. Her boss, her reporting line is a white man. Anytime she does anything, he puts his, he would put his name as if he's the one that did it and all of that. I know most of you might know the movie, but I'm trying to remember this. She acts in most of this Tyler Perry movie. And in that taught me so much. Know when to speak up and where to speak up. She was not just speaking up in a Black community. She was speaking up where it mattered. Even the boss's boss had her. Oh, you just come, you do your work, you go home. Yeah, but you will not be seen. That's the truth about corporate world. If you want, you need to speak to your competence. She'll tell you that I cannot create this if I don't see this. You are in a meeting. They come to meet you. They say, oh, no, Victoria, just give it to us. Just do it now. You should know how to do it. You tell them, no, if I don't sit in this meeting, if I don't sit in the business meeting, if I don't sit in so and so place to understand exactly what the client wants, to hear from the horse's mouth, I'm so sorry, I don't think I can do anything about that, because I want to do what will work for the client. I don't want to do what he said, she said, he said. That is speaking to your competence. Owning your space. Know when to speak up. Don't just speak up with your friends, your gisting. That is good. Know when to speak up. Another thing that would help you, embrace risk. See, there is nobody that is a great person who did not take a risk, brought about a solution that people are implementing now. Whatever it is you're doing in the tech world was a problem before that somebody resolved. Don't be the woman that wants to stay at the tail end when they have already created it, when they have finished doing everything. See, even as an HR person, I always tell people, I will sit at the decision table of a multinational and nothing will happen. And I'm on the journey there. I started my career in the oil and gas space. I have moved to luxury retail. I was in consulting for 4 years, where I sit at the decision table of many CEOs. When they're having a conversation, I'm having a conversation. I'm preferring HR solutions to their problems. When my bosses, I and my boss then would go out for business meeting. When she said, Victoria, do you have something to say? I said, yes, I have something to say. And I will ask the CEO one striking question that throws him off balance. The next thing he said, I want Victoria on this project. It became a thing of, I don't need your CEO to be there with you, Victoria. I want to work with you. So you need to know how to proffer solutions. Competency is not just knowing your work, knowing how to proffer solutions to various problems. So it is important as a woman, because that's what gets you ahead. Doing your job and getting paid is not what gets you ahead. You also need to consistently remind yourself that you're great and good at what you do. Sometimes I have also experienced it. Some of us have. You do things and you don't get, the necessary accolades that you deserve. And it's almost like, how men sometimes try to just shut you up. Waiting, I beg shit, Joe. Waiting, you don't do what another person never do before. And if you consistently hear things like that, it gets to you. Let's be honest, it gets to you. As a woman, blow your trumpet. Be the person, number one person who blows your trumpet, skills and achievement. I have done this. I remember previously, my colleagues used to get tired of me. When they ask questions, I was the lead consultant for the National Assembly. I will use my trumpet in fact, Tunumbu will hear. If he is, he go be the lead consultant for National Assembly. So wherever I have the opportunity to speak up about my profession, my achievement, I do that. I didn't blow my head, though, sincerely. Blow your trumpet. Speak to yourself. Victoria, you're great at what you do. Another thing that would help us as women in whatever space we find ourselves is staying ahead of the curve. You cannot consistently be on the same level with the men and expect to be their head. It doesn't work that way. You need to know what's happening ahead. You need to predict. You need to, be updated with every new trend. You need to be ahead. Oh, they are talking of the same thing. You're talking of the same thing. What makes you special? See, I don't always go into any organization with a victim mentality. I will tell you, my work will do the talking. Just give me time. My work will do the talking. So women learn to stay ahead of the curve. We're talking about speaking with confidence. We're talking about competence. We're talking about a growth mindset. And it also comes with consistent learning. Having a problem-solving mindset. That's when I mentioned embrace risk. You work in a male-dominated place and you think that you cannot be their head. The truth is men naturally have ego. So if you're going to stay ahead of them, you need to be ahead of the curve. They need to have something they look at you for or look up to you for to say, "Nah, true, we know if you do, let's just go and meet Victoria. Let's just go and meet Victoria." So that when you speak, they listen. Sorry. So that when you get into a place, they listen. And another thing, lastly, the truth is, be teachable, be lovable. Because of the place you find yourself, the tendency to always want to be heard, to be heard, is there. No, allow your femininity. Be a woman where you need to be a woman. And in all of this, I hope you know that you have to stay resilient, because all of these things don't come cheap. It doesn't come cheap. Being great doesn't come cheap. And trust me, with all of this and all that the panelists have said, oh, like they say, the sky is just the starting point. And let me add in terms of salary negotiation, I am an HR consultant, so I understand the salary thingy a lot. Whenever you want to negotiate a salary, please always come from a place of competence. Whenever you want to negotiate salary, always come from a place of competence and not from a place of, I know what my colleagues earn. Don't ever do that. You have lost the case. I remember when I got into my previous job, I felt I under-negotiated myself. I told myself, Victoria, your work will do the talking. I grew so much beyond the people who were in the organization that for every project I executed, my boss paid me 10% of that project. This has never happened in the organization. So you need to always negotiate your salary from a place of competence. Don't go and meet your bosses to say, oh, I know what A and A ends. Don't ever do that. You have lost it. By virtue of policy across board, salary is a confidential matter. So when you go on that angle, you will lose the case. So always go by competence. Before you go, do your research to know what people in your industry and your level earn, because sometimes you should even negotiate higher than what your colleague is earning. So always go from a place of competence. I have been able to do ABC and this is the result. Go with your numbers. Numbers always trickle with the head of all the CEOs, all the financial. It has led to, maybe based on my achievement for the period of time I've been in this organization, it has led to a 30% increase in the revenue, which has done so, and in turn should come to your pockets. I hope that helps somebody. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was a very, very powerful. You wrapped up everything that has been said, and you added. I don't know how to explain it, but that was really, really solid. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and your knowledge with us. It's been a really, really good one. So we are 30 minutes over time. I would have loved for this session to go on and just probably hear more from Victoria because I'm really, really thrilled and excited about the learning that every single one of us here have taken from this course, even as an entrepreneur, as also those that are still doing the 9 to 5 and all of those that are even consulting in general. Because one thing that I really said, beyond when you emphasize on showing up, when you emphasize on talking, not just keeping quiet in meetings, but I think that a lot of people are afraid to talk. Most times, it's always because of lack of knowledge. And this now brings to the part of confidence comes from knowing. Because if you have knowledge, when someone is saying something that ought not to be, the knowledge in itself will propel you to want to speak up, because you cannot want to be in a room and then someone is saying what exactly isn't it. It's not like he's saying this is white and when you're saying, this white is orange. You know that it is white. So clearly you'd want to speak up and put things in place. So one thing that if no one took anything out of what Victoria said today, I want to pick up that learn, constantly learn and unlearn, and be not just learn from books and knowledge that you pick out of somewhere or from taking classes, but trust me, even willingness to learn from people, even your colleagues itself is a good one. So you have to be willing to, but there are a lot of things that you might think that that when people are talking and you just want to it might just be pride that will just make you speak up and you end up, speaking what isn't it. So sometimes listen and learn and to understand what exactly people are saying. And then when you speak, I don't know how to explain it, but I've been in these situations and I wish I can find the better words to explain it, but definitely I believe that Victoria has said all and it's really, really sound. So before we call it a wrap, I would like to get like maybe a piece of advice from the three amazing ladies that we have on this call, women that we have on this call, starting from Victoria Olados. So what is your final piece of advice to every single lady here on this call, as a professional, as a business entrepreneur yourself as well? Victoria Olados. Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. It has been a wonderful session, to be honest. I personally have learned from other panelists on the session, and I'm curious as to what other listeners would definitely make of this. My piece of advice to everyone, I'm really glad that, everyone here is a woman, right? I hope no one identifies as. Anyway, I'm really glad that we're all women. And the first thing I want to say is, whether you're in tech or not, or you're in business, you're an entrepreneur, whatever you are, be you. That's the first thing. Forget being a woman. It's just a gender. It's just a title. Okay. When you get married, you take up another title. Now you're not Miss, you're Mrs. When you get into another profession, you take another title. Now you're not this, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, right? It's the same thing. Gender, it's just a title. So be you. Okay. That's the first thing you want to take into anywhere you find yourself. Then recognize your value. You have so many talents within you. As a woman, you are powerful. You need to embrace your feminine energy. You're powerful, you are confident, you have so many things inbuilt and you need to embrace it. You need to recognize it. That's the first thing. You need to know, be aware that you have it. And then it can then exude from you. And then always do things with an extra you effect in mind. Don't just go into somewhere and be ordinary, right? Be extraordinary. Always try to add that extra you effect. If Daniela has done something now and Jesutola has done something, how are they going to know? Now, this is two women, not even a man and a woman. How are they going to know that this is Jesutola's work? Is there going to be a difference? Is there going to be the you effect? Is there going to be that extra effect? So let people be aware of what you bring to the table. Let your work speak for you, just like Victoria has said. Let your work speak for you, right? And then be assertive. I've had different, scenarios when I'm working. I've worked remotely, most of my career, and it has just worked for me. It's been good for me that way. But even as a remote worker, I've seen people get rude instead of being assertive. You need to be able to tell the difference, right? Don't be rude. Your employer is your employer. You are not your employer, especially if you're not self-employed. So don't be rude. You can't be assertive, but don't be rude. And always find allies, okay? Find people that you can build a supportive network around, right? People that think like you, people that you have same driving effect, your goals are aligned, you people think alike, you people work alike. I think Precious was mentioning something like when she was still in school, she would hear some people say, oh, after school, I just want to have a shop. I want to have a store. I want to, this, but she knows that that's not what she wanted. What did she do? She ejected herself from that circle, and then she built her allies, she built our network, right, around what aligns with her goal. So that's what you should be doing, right? And at every opportunity that you have, please speak about your achievement. That, you know, there's sometimes that your achievement might not be loud enough to speak for you, especially if you are working remotely, right? It might not be loud to speak for you. So always document it. There's something I have that is called a brag document. Brag as in BRAG. It's a brag document. It's where I document all my wins. So you can have that. You can build it for yourself. It could be a spreadsheet. It could even be, you know, a physical document where you put in everything that you have achieved, no matter how small. Let's say you were invited to speak at an event. Put it there, document it, because it is useful. There is nothing that is not useful. Whether you went out with your boss, like Victoria said, she went out with her boss recognizes the extra effort that she's putting in at work, and she got an increase in salary through that. That is a win. That is a win. That's something that you can even, you know, document or, you know, put into your CV for maybe your next job or something, because it's mind-blowing. So document that too, and always seek feedback. Please, nobody is perfect. You are not perfect. I'm not perfect. You can be near perfect, but nobody is. So always seek feedback from your friends, from your bosses, from your managers, from, you know, anyone, even from your parents, if you are that close, right? Always seek feedback. Oh, how did I do? It's your first time preparing beans. Or how did I do? Do you like it? Was it good? What can I change? It's your first time promoting your business or launching your business. Ask your first time customers, even if it's just one customer that you had, right? Ask that person, what do you think can be better? Do you like what was delivered to you? Is it the delivery time? Is it customer service? Ask questions. I think maybe because I'm a product manager, you know, product managers can obsessively want to solve problems. So maybe that's why I'm just like that. I always like to know how things have gone. So I would always ask feedback. So yeah, I think I've mentioned like 6 points now. I hope you're taking that down. And lastly, remember that you belong here. Here is relative. You want to be in tech, you want to be in business, you want to be in marketing, you want to be in media, you want to be, you know, a star, you want to be in the TV, wherever you want to be, remember that you belong there. Now, how can you truly belong there? It's by building your capacity, being competent, let your work speak for you. I believe that with all of this, these are like tangible advices for everybody on this call. Once again, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Victoria. Precious, over to you.
Oh yeah. I think I'm just going to share something that I'm also learning, right? And is that you can just do things like you literally can just do things. Whatever it is, you can just do it. And I didn't realize that until, you know, I saw like a pattern, right? And I'm going to pause there and say, please go out of your way to grow. Like, this is, I'm very passionate about this, so let me be very serious. Go out of your way to grow. Like, don't just, there's so much, like, I wish you'd look around and see that there's so much that you can do as a person. So go out of your way to grow. Growth is very uncomfortable. Like, happy to break it to you. It's not nice, it's not fine, but like, you literally can grow, right? So one of the things that I like to do is I like to look at people that are in my field, people that I respect, and I like to look at their throwbacks, right? And it just kind of gives me some encouragement to know that, like, whatever it is I have in my head is possible, right? Look, so okay, some people are content creators. Go and look at some of the content creators that you really like to watch. Like, they didn't blow up today. They started at some point, and then you can literally watch their growth. Do you know how beautiful? I'm so obsessed with growth. That's why I'm very excited because like, do you know how beautiful it is to be able to literally watch someone like go from 0 to like 1, 2, 3, 4 until they get to a 10, and then they are moving to 20, 50, like, and the beauty of life is you keep growing. Like you will find someone who you can say that they've grown completely, right? So please go out of your way to be better, like to grow. Do you just know how beautiful it is to say that in the next 3, 5 years, I'm going to, get this and this and that done, and to actually do it. And please don't delude yourself to think that growth is something that happens like quick. Some people think, oh, if I start posting, there are people, maybe I'll keep using social media. There are people who maybe they post on social media and for some reason they get viral. But even those people, you still have to consistently show up, like for you to maintain that virality or whatever it is. So whatever it is you are doing, good things take time. Please don't be looking for quick, like, and that's why sometimes people get disappointed. They rush into tech because they've seen people who are in tech that are like they have a lot of money, forgetting that those people started like years ago. They didn't just start today. So when they get into tech and maybe they're finding it hard to get an internship, they're just like, oh, you people scammed us. It's not a scam, it's just good things take time. So go out of your way to grow. And in that mindset, also know that you literally can just do things. Like you can say today that I want to do da, and you will do it. So yeah, please have a growth mindset, go out of your way to grow, be patient, consistent, just all the things that you have always heard before. And hold God, please. I will keep saying it. Hold God, and yeah, everything will be fine. But thank you.
Thank you very much, Precious. Victoria, you want to say something? Your hand is up. Okay. Your mic is muted.
So just 1 minute. I wanted to say, I don't know if you all saw this TikTok video about Bozoma St. John, this lady that has job upped from being at Pepsi. I think she's worked at Pepsi, she's worked at Netflix, she's worked at Uber. Yeah, you all saw that video, right? It blows my mind every time. Like, that is the definition of that girl. What must have got? She's black. She has everything to be against her. She has all of the stereotypes to be against her. She worked in a white dominated company. She worked in even the country. She worked in a male dominated place also. So how was she able to stand out? How was she able to be above every of these people? I'd like you to go read about her. I have her ebook. It's her biography, a memoir, and I want to share with everybody here today. So I don't know. I think I might have to send it to Temitope, right? I have a memoir. It is inspiring. It is going to blow your mind. It is going to motivate you. If you are always waking up by 12 p.m., please, why? You're a woman, stand up. Get on your work, get on your job, even if you don't have a job yet, learn something, just start somewhere. Like, you are still going to be motivated. And if you have not, had this energy before, I believe that it's going to do something for you. So I'm going to share with you all, and I just want you to feel inspired from it. Thank you.
So please, what's your final piece of advice to every single woman here on this call? Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Sorry, is that me?
Yes, that's you.
Okay. Every Precious spoke fantastic. Victoria spoke fantastic. Now, just to add a little to it, because so that I don't repeat all that they have said. Some of these things takes time, and you need to learn the act of being patient. Be patient when you're confident. You have hands-on experience, you have a growth mindset, and you're doing everything, and it looks like the right result is not coming. Please be patient. If anyone in my life had ever told me that I would be here, trust me, I'll tell the person is a lie. I did not apply for this job that I am in. Oh, somebody spoke my name somewhere, and here I am working as a senior manager in TVC. Please be patient. The big things come, but sometimes it takes time. You need to have it at the back of your mind. It takes time. That's why I also mention resilience. See, and also have it at the back of your mind that you'll be betrayed. Oh. No place is a bed of roses, so I'm telling you, your best friend or best colleague in your office could be the person who could stab you, but learn to move on. If it is that, I have experienced it. You could be having a conversation with someone to pour your heart, to say, oh, this, and then the next thing you're hearing it from the mouth of the CEO. Or is it about someone stealing your idea? My dear, see, have it at the back of your mind that negative stuff will happen, but learn to move on. It will happen. That's just the truth. There is no corporate world without its own shenanigans. They are there. Oh, say it with. Be very patient. But when you start seeing points, but when you start seeing, don't be quick to resign. Don't be quick to resign from anywhere. They did not give me what I want. Mm-mm. You don't build resilience when you run away from problems. I tell people there's nothing you can do to me now. Is it someone lying against me to the CEO that I was disgraced in public? My dear, see, if we start listing all of it, and for someone like me who even met my husband in the corporate world, someone went into, before I even said yes, someone went into his WhatsApp, screenshot all the thing, and shared it to the entire office. Tell me what biggest disgrace one can ever have. But I stayed true. And before God and man, I'm not trying to brag. None of them big past me. Today, with God on my side. So if I say, it's all bed of roses, is a lie. It's not all bed of roses. It's not. Let's not deceive ourselves. But trust me, when the blessing comes, you'll be telling God, take it easy with me, take it easy with me. This is too much. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, Victoria. I really thank you very much, Victoria Song. Thank you so much, Precious, and thank you very much, everyone. So I can't see any question in the chat. So I want to believe that this wraps up this fireside chat. Thank you very much for having me as well. Temitope, over to you. Or does anybody have any question? Because I didn't see any question in the chat.
Please,
Does anybody have
can
any
Miss
questions?
Victoria?
I didn't see anyone in the chat.
Sorry.
Okay, I can
Okay,
see one.
I got a question, but it's just Miss Precious already shared our social media and those. I don't know if all our speakers can do the same, and so now we can just connect with them, follow them, and just you know.
Okay, Temitope, want to answer that?
All right, okay. That's fine. I'll post a link to join our community, our WhatsApp community. Every resource, I think Victoria would like to share a memo with us, and also the links to their pages. I would share all of that on our community page. So I will drop down the link now, so you can just join in, and then you can have access to it.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. I think we've come to the end of this session, this event, this meeting. It was a beautiful time. We've spent how long now? Over almost 2 hours listening to every speaker giving their nuggets, and I wasn't tired. I am still eager to listen to Precious, to Victoria, Victoria, the other Victoria, and to hear more of what they have done so far. Thank you so much. Can we celebrate them one more time? We do not want to let them to leave without knowing how much we appreciate what they've done today. Thank you so much. So briefly, we can just check on our chat box for if anyone here is yet to apply for the scholarship that is currently running. This event is around the initiative of empowering 500 women to learn a tech skill. So that excuse of probably not having enough to get started or just to explore to see what is your path. This initiative makes that easy. Check the chat box and just apply. The every process you'll be guided in every process from there on. So you can also check our social media platforms at Hackademia Institute to learn more. All details are there. Please, I would just give me a minute. I want to put in the WhatsApp community so we do not miss on all that our speakers would like to share with us. So all right. Okay. Thank you so much, Precious. Thank you so much, Victoria. And we are so blessed and privileged to have you. Thank you for sharing all that you did with us. And we do appreciate you. Hopefully, we are able to have maybe subsequent meetings sometimes in the future to better our audiences and to give more value to them. Thank you so much. All right. Bye, Victoria. Bye, Victoria. All right. So as I said, for the initiative, this is to encourage you right now as you leave this call. If you are yet to apply, it's an opportunity to just pay 10,000 naira to learn product design, to learn product management, to learn product marketing, to learn all these courses for just 10,000 naira. Normally you would pay much more, but 190,000 naira has been paid for you. And it's such a beautiful thing that people are willing to impact us this way. So please go on, apply now, check the chat box for the link to apply and do this quick. Limited slots just for 500 women, and we have a lot of women who have registered already. So please, let's do that so that we can all have access to this initiative. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Eniola, Dolapo, Daniela, Dauda, Agada Joy, Ayomide, thank you for sticking until the end. Please, we'll continue every conversation. Okay, I see there's a question. Okay. How do I know the tech skill to go for? I'm really finding this hard. I don't know the particular one to go. We have a lot of resources to help you answer this question. First of all, I would advise you make some research, but you can always come to our DMs. We'll give you details on what every course entails. So if it fits to your potentials, you would know which course to go for. You can give us a message, you can email us, you can go to our social media platforms and just drop a message, and I'm sure we will help you to know which course would be best for you. All right, so please join our WhatsApp community. That's where every resource that you gotten from here, recorded resource or anything that has been suggested, will be shared on the WhatsApp community. All right, thank you all for joining today. Thank you for investing your time into your life in this manner, in this form. And we hope to see you doing big things from here on. Big things from here on. Keep in touch. Let us be able to communicate with you whenever you need clarity, need help, need direction, and need resources that would that are in our hands to supply to you. And I trust that we'll do bigger things from here on. Thank you all so much, and please do have a lovely weekend.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Okay, so for that person, kindly send, for that person that is looking to learn a skill and doesn't know which one to, kindly text us on our WhatsApp community. Joy, Agada Joy. Are you still here, Joy? Hello, Joy. Okay, I think, oh, good evening. So please just drop a message on the community, the WhatsApp community, so that we can attend to you, and our advisors will reach out to you immediately. Yeah.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Privilege. Bye, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you.
once again.
Hmm?